Okay, this is part 2 in my discussion about the Sicilian Najdorf. And in front of you, you have the basic setup. In the last video, I was showing bishop e3, and then knight g4, bishop g5, h6, bishop h4, g5, etc. And then I was also looking at e5, either knight f3 or knight b3, which is, well, I think, the best move. Bishop e6, f3, h5, and I was talking about h5, either stops or delays the kingside attack. Queen d2, knight b7, knight d5, and then I talked about bishop takes or knight takes. And the reason I kind of stopped myself was that I said that bishop d5 is better than knight takes d5, but although bishop takes d5 is the most common move, but if you want to preserve your bishop pair, then obviously knight takes is a better option here. But bishop takes is at least the most common move. What else? And then there was f3, and black plays e5. Honestly, the problem with e5, if we look at the move e6, is that the d5 square is now covered. And but after e5, there's a hole on d5. But I think this has been very well studied, and I mean, black does have the bishop on f8 to protect the pawn on d6. So I mean, d6 here is obviously a potential target or weakness, but in case white ever plays a move like f4, then black doesn't really need to do anything. And if white takes, then you just take back with the d pawn, and then it's been traded off anyway. So I don't think d6 is so much of a weakness here, really. I think. Okay, bishop e6, bishop e3, h5. There's also f4 that I was talking about. If e takes f4 is actually the most common move here. After I showed the bishop e3 h5 instead of the bishop e6 there is instead of bishop e3 f4. But it is possible to play other moves as well instead of e takes. Well, let's start with the most common move. E takes f4, bishop takes f4, knight c6, queen e2, d5, and black gets rid of his weakness in a very nice way, actually. E takes, knight takes, knight takes, bishop, queen takes, bishop takes. Castles long, and castles long, g3. Oh, by the way, this is nice. Obviously, it is not possible for black to take the rook on h1, because in that case, this happens. And the game is completely over. The only move is rook up here, or if f5, then just takes, and there is no way to escape, so black is totally lost. So it isn't possible to take, let's see, where was it? Bishop e3, let's see here. I have so many variations here right now that it's almost difficult to see, but this should be correct. White played f4, and we were looking at e takes, bishop takes, knight c6, queen d2, and d5. And then e takes, knight takes, knight takes, queen takes, bishop takes, castles long, and then g3. And I'll show that it isn't possible to take over here on h1, because, well, it's checkmate, basically, in a couple of moves, so that's not possible. Well, okay, maybe not checkmate immediately, but, you know, too much, black loses basically all his pieces, so let's just forget about that. Okay, so that was one variation, and but then there's also bishop e7, followed by f5, bishop d7, bishop e3. And here, maybe black is a bit cramped. I mean, he's been pushed back, so that's why the most common move is actually e takes f4, because of that. I mean, think about it. Bishop e7, f5, bishop d7, bishop e3, castles, queen f3. It is even possible for white to start some sort of attack right away. I mean, just g4, bishop c6, bishop g2, knight e8, and I don't like this. Black is just too passive here. This is all very known theory, but I don't like it. So, if given the choice, I would definitely play takes f4 here. Okay, so that was the move f3. Then there is bishop e2. Again, e5, knight b3, bishop e7. It is possible to play bishop e6, bishop e3, bishop e7, knight e5, knight takes, bishop takes b5. In this particular variation, is not to be recommended, I think. I think it's much better to take with the knight. Bishop f5, and here just after queen d2, castles. Castles, knight d7, f3. Maybe even c4. And this variation actually reminds of the other version we were looking at in the first video. What else? But you can see that there's a pattern here. I mean, it's the variations don't differ too much. I mean, we'll look at bishop e3, f3, bishop g5. Okay, bishop g5 obviously changes everything. But f3 is again e5, and then okay, let's go. I think even after bishop e3, the most common yes, we'll look at that. Bishop e5, sorry, e5, and then either f3 or b3. Bishop e6, f3. I mean, it's okay. After bishop e6, the most common move is f3, but then bishop e2, bishop e7, knight e5, takes with the knight, e takes, bishop f5, queen d2. Yeah. Okay, I guess I went too far back. This is obviously, there's no point to go back further than this. What else is there? Okay, I mean, there are many moves here. There's, but I think the three most common moves are bishop e3. I have to repeat this: f3, bishop g5. But okay, let's develop in a different way for black. Something that I have been encountering a lot. I see this happen very often. And here white plays f4, and queen b6 is the most common move, and I think I've also been playing bishop e7. Queen b6. I have been playing quite a lot too, but I don't like the gift, so to speak, to take on b2 because of all the open lines. Let's just take a quick look at this. e5, bishop h4, d takes, f takes, g5. I mean, okay. I'm not too crazy about this. And of course, it's not necessary to take the pawn. We can also play knight c6, castles long. Just queen takes, knight takes, rook takes, bishop e7, and some pieces have been traded off. And I think if you can do that, perhaps there is a bigger chance to equalize. What else? After f4, there's also knight b to d7, queen f3, queen c7, and yeah, this is also something I've been looking at. I've also made a few videos, at least one, where I play this way against white. Then castles long, bishop b5. I think I play in that one particular video that I was showing, and I also showed e5, bishop e7, queen h3. I remember, and then I was talking about what happens if after bishop e7, if of course that's just a silly mistake, but if white takes the pawn, threatening the queen, then just black simply responds with taking the white's queen, and then threatening the rook over here. So obviously that doesn't work. So, but that's not the point with e5 in the first place. Obviously, then queen h3 or knight takes e6. Either way. Okay, let's take a look at that sacrifice. F takes, queen h3, d takes e5, queen takes e6, bishop e7, bishop takes b5, a takes, knight takes, queen c6, knight d6 check, king d8, f takes e5, king c7, and the white wings back if you want. Well, actually not. So the move here of the king c7 is bishop takes, g takes, queen takes. Okay, we wins back that way. And I wouldn't want to be black. I don't want to be black in this position, that's for sure. So for that reason, after bishop b7. Okay, we were looking at. By the way, the sacrifice on e6 is very, very common. So you'll see that a lot. But there is also castles long here. And then e takes, g takes, bishop h4, and rook e8. A better move. Variation obviously for black. Okay, of the castles long, there's also bishop e7, g4, b5, bishop takes, knight takes, g5, knight e7, f5. All stuff, very well known stuff. Knight c5 or bishop takes g5, king b1, knight e5, queen h5, queen d8 or queen e7. Pick your choice. It's if you want to. Okay, white plays knight takes e6. Obviously, it's not possible to take over here because of the pin. So g6 is possible. Then queen takes g5. And white wins back anyway, the piece. Okay, bishop f takes, queen d2, rook f8, bishop h3, knight c4, queen h6. Okay, it looks a bit difficult for black. I mean, there's also the threat to put the knight over here, and I don't know. It's hard to say. But the most common move for, okay, we were looking at queen e7 is, after knight takes e6, is actually bishop takes, f takes, g6 here instead of before. E takes, king takes, queen h3, king is g7, and here knight e5. Okay, let's go back very fast. I don't have much time. We're looking at knight b7, queen f3, queen c7, castles long, bishop e7, g4. There's also bishop d3 and b5 here, rook e1, bishop e7, queen g3. Okay, I can't cover, I'll have to make another part in order to cover as much as possible. So, see you in part 3.